The new Yamaha XSR 900 was introduced in May 2022 and is finally rolling to dealerships. Volker and Dietmar were lucky enough to be able to take one of the few demonstrators available in Germany under their wing and were completely enthusiastic about the very sporty heritage bike. Retro? By no means. At last. After Yamaha had already introduced the new XSR 900 in Italy in May, the retro bike is now slowly available. Dietmar has already been able to ride the XSR in Italy and therefore already knew that it was only visually an 80s bike. Behind the beautiful facade is a completely new development and a tough sports bike. The XSR costs €11,349 and is available in black and blue. It actually picks up some 80s elements visually and is, at least for us, especially beautiful in blue with the golden rims and gold anodized fork. Based on the comments of our test video, we know that especially the seat and the exhaust are not well received by all users. The seating comfort is better at the back than you might think. However, there are no handles except for a strap, so that the pillion passenger has to hold on to the vehicle in front for better or worse. For free, the XSR doesn't want to be a real two-man machine anyway, and that's enough for the short trip to the Quarry Lake for two. The seat height of 810 mm is very moderate, so that even smaller people have a good, because safe stand. Nevertheless, even taller people do not feel out of place, as you sit very gathered and deeply integrated into the machine. Positive is the low weight of only 193 kilograms, ready to drive, so that maneuvering the XSR is no problem. 360-degree tour around the Yamaha XSR 900 full cottage. Technically, Yamaha has completely upgraded the new XSR 900. There is now a lean angle sensor system that acts on traction control and cornering ABS. There is also wheelie and slide control as well as cruise control. Ride-by-wire and 4 riding modes are also on board, and the XSR driver can also look forward to the quickshifter, which works buttery soft in both directions. The cockpit consists of a somewhat small 3.5-inch color TFT display, which can be read perfectly. Technically, the XSR is almost completely identical to the current MT-09. Unfortunately, this also applies to the menu control via a knurled wheel with click mechanism at the right end of the handlebar, which we were already annoyed about with the MT-09. Fortunately, there are separate switches for controlling the driving modes and traction control, and this works well. The new XSR 900 is also up-to-date in terms of light, a completely full LED including turn signals and, above all, a rear light beautifully integrated under the rear seat to light our eyes. This is how it drives itself. The sound of the XSR 900 is typically triple, it hisses wonderfully and starts screaming at higher speeds. Nevertheless, the stationary noise is only a moderate 95 dBA. The intake noise is clearly audible when accelerating, and so every acceleration is accompanied acoustically appropriately.
Zwei, eins, 0. Ja!
On the first few meters, the elasticity of the engine is immediately noticeable. You can start driving at stationary speed and also chilled in 5th gear at low speeds through the village. The engine always seems to feel comfortable, annoying constant jerking or stronger load changes are foreign to it. Although the torque of 93 Nm does not break any records, the machine has a powerful punch from below. From 5,000 RPM it goes off anyway. Acceleration and pulling are probably a positive surprise for every rider on this bike. It looks more like a bike with 150 horsepower and 125 Nm of torque, so wild and impetuous gallops the Gull forward. Especially if you have set the driving mode 1, then the throttle response is already very direct, and without the wheelie control, the front wheel would constantly rise. In everyday life you are probably more in driving mode 2 on the road, then the throttle response is more civilian and you are not immediately thrown off the bike. In fact, every biker who likes strong propulsion should try a Yamaha with a CP3 engine. Whether MT-09, Tracer 9 or XSR 900, this is guaranteed to stick in the memory. But not only the performance of the machine is famous, also the manually adjustable chassis can convince. It is tight, gives good feedback and is very precise. Due to the swing arm 9 cm longer than the MT-09, the XSR is very stable and drives predictably. It does exactly what you want as a driver and tilts completely naturally and without steps into the corner. In addition, there are really good brakes at the front with a 298mm double disc and a Brembo radial brake pump. The brake is snappy, but not too sharp, and even at high speeds, the machine can be decelerated in no time without effort. The brake at the rear can't quite keep up, but is okay as usual in class. Overall, the XSR 900 has become even sportier, but it is still very accessible. When driving, it exudes a safety that reminded us of the BMW S1000R, which is also fabulously safe to drive. In this respect, the Yamaha is actually also suitable for beginners, but they should keep their right hand in check, because the performance is, as I said, actually not for beginners. Retro on this bike is just her look, everything else is modern and sporty. We know of no other retro bike that can be moved so nimbly that the low weight sends its regards. Conclusion: what sticks? Bravo Yamaha, with the XSR 900 you have achieved a great success. No one will be able to get off after a test ride on this bike and claim not to have had fun. The XSR is a fine motorcycle, very sporty, yet easy to handle and very potent, both technically and in terms of performance. In this respect, the price is really more than okay from our point of view.